What's up, all you motorheads and bumper bunnies? Today we're going to be reviewing some more cool information coming out of Genesis. And it's going to be an article from Car and Driver talking about their new supercar or sports car that is directly challenging the Porsche 911 and the lower end of the Chevy Corvette. Now, this thing's pretty good looking. I love the color, I love how it looks, and I figured I would read along this article and share some of the news with some of you and see what you think. Now, I'm partial to big American V8s, don't get me wrong, but whenever somebody comes out with something a little interesting, I want to get involved. I want to read it. I want to find out as much as I can about it, because if you ask me, this thing's pretty cool looking, and I think it is completely new for Genesis. So, yeah, the 2028 Genesis Magma GT is a V8 powered supercar worth waiting for. Now, again, when I saw this title, I was just kind of like, oh, okay, this is pretty cool. So, Genesis aims to challenge iconic sports cars like the Porsche 911 and Chevy Corvette with the new two-door featuring a V8 behind the seats. So they're going mid-engine. And I mean, this car looks really good. I love the the side panel signals just following the rear light all the way through the car. That looks really good in my opinion. And I love the color, but unfortunately, you are not getting any visibility out of that. If there's a rear backup camera, nice. But, I mean, it looks good. I really like this. So, Genesis has established itself with sophisticated and richly appointed SUVs like the GV70 and GV80. But now Hyundai's luxury arm is letting loose with the new performance division, Magma. Although the first product is the electric GV60 Magma, a squat, angry little frog with 641 horsepower, the high-performance sub-brand won't be an electric-only affair. And the Magma GT indicates Genesis's desire to challenge the best sports cars in the world, with dramatic looks, mid-engine layout, and a V8 powertrain. Now, I'm curious how big this V8 is going to be. I'm thinking they're probably going to shoot for like a 4-liter or something similar to that to just go along with the same route that like McLaren or Audi are trying to do. I don't have high hopes that it's going to be a big displacement engine, but I do have high hopes that it might be a very high revving V8, which if their performance division can do it right, it's going to sound pretty freaking wild. The Magma GT will likely ride on a new bespoke platform, given that Genesis currently doesn't produce any vehicles with such low-slung mid-engine proportions. The platform will support a vast 911-like lineup that will include convertibles, hardcore track models, and lightweight trims. Now that's interesting, because a lot of the language here sounds like they're specifically targeting Porsche. And Porsche is that middle ground where they like to be a luxury brand, but they also have their sports car roots. And if a luxury only division of Hyundai wants to challenge that, you kind of got to back it up with a good performance division. And considering they are just starting it, it might be a little worrisome. I'm kind of concerned that, this car is going to look good, but it's not going to perform nearly as well as I personally think, or the rest of the community at large. But it does look good, and it is a very unique design. It reminds me a little bit of the Tesla Roadster with certain vibes from, like, honestly, it kind of looks like it has the same cockpit as a Learjet. Might be a little stupid there, but I think it's pretty cool. I'm excited just for looks alone. The concept version of the Magma GT was unveiled with a roaring V8 that we suspect the final production model to feature a twin turbocharged V8 capable of well over 600 horsepower. If it's a twin turbo V8 and it's pushing 600 horsepower, it's got to be a small displacement engine, unless the turbos are extremely tiny. Because, like, you can take an LS and get some eBay turbos and you could turn it up to 11, still get a very acceptable 700 horsepower. Since Genesis currently doesn't sell any cars with a V8, this could end up being a modified version of the V8 created for the GMR 001. Itself crafted by mating two of the brand's 1.6 liter turbo 4 cylinders, which that would be interesting. A 3.2 liter V8? I mean, if they don't bore it out, that's kind of cool. That's going to be a small V8. Like, we're talking IndyCar proportions at that. But it would be nice to see something like that. The GMR 001's V8 paired with a hybrid system for 670 horsepower, and we wouldn't be shocked if the production Magma GT also goes the hybrid route and pushes output to even closer to 700 ponies. That would be pretty cool. I'm not the biggest fan of hybrid systems or all-electric systems in general, but if it can do it, have at it, because they have experience with hybrid systems and their electric vehicles. I just hope they don't oversell it like a lot of other brands have done so far when it comes to hybrid or electric vehicles. Ford, Mach E. The 8-cylinder engine will live amid ships, and we expect it to be hooked up to an 8-speed automatic gearbox. Genesis may also launch an entry-level version with a twin-turbocharged V6. Now, the twin-turbocharged V6, those are nice. Those are really nice. I've been in a G80, and it has a surprisingly smooth power band to the point where, like, when you're hitting the gas and you don't pay attention to the speedometer, and you finally look down and you're actually speeding, you're doing 20, 30 over the speed limit without even really noticing. It's a nice engine. And I'd also like to see it in a car like this. The competition. Genesis will target German sports cars such as the Porsche 911, the Mercedes-Benz AMG GT. I don't know about that one, boss. I don't think you're gonna break into that market with the Mercedes. Mid-engine coupes like the Chevy Corvette will also be on the Magma GT's hit list, and Genesis may even aim as high as Exotica like the McLaren Artura and the Maserati MC Pura. Dude. Okay. The people who are buying the Chevy Corvette are buying it because it's an affordable mid-engine sports car. Like, we're talking $60,000 to $70,000 entry ticket to those cars. Whereas Genesis is more of like a mid-tier to higher-end luxury brand. Chevy ain't a luxury brand. And the Corvette is an affordable sports car. So if they're trying to compete with the Chevy Corvette, the base model Corvette, we need to see like $50,000 to $60,000 for the lower end of the Magma GT. Because if it's anything more than 80, no one's going to touch it from the Chevy camp. I'm sorry, that's just how it is. Everybody wants a C8 Chevy Corvette because they are a cheap mid-engine sports car. Whereas on the other end of the spectrum, a luxury brand targeting McLaren and Maserati, I don't think you're gonna like the Porsche. I believe they'll fit right into that market. I believe it's going to be more expensive than the Corvette and cheaper than the Porsche. I believe it's going to be that mid-level car in between those two manufacturers. The Mercedes-Benz AMG GT, that might be in play right there, but the McLaren Artura and the Maserati MC Pura, again, you're going from right here to right here. Genesis, McLaren, Maserati. I don't think this car has it in it to be in this class with those cars. Like, granted, it looks good. It looks really good. I like the design. I don't think that's going to be the final design, but I really like that. I think Genesis and the Magma division are shooting for the moon before they can even jump off the ground. I love the optimism. The only problem is the people who they are targeting. Like, yes, the Porsche and lower end performance Mercedes-Benz models, or hell, the Toyota Supra or something along the lines of that. I think it's going to fit in there. Do I think Chevy Corvette owners are going to go for something like this? Absolutely not. I do not think that's going to be the case. And I do not think this is going to be a direct competition for a Corvette. If it has the 600 to 700 horsepower mark, I think it will get in there. I think it will open a lot of people's eyes to it. The Porsche community as a whole, I just can't see, okay, I realistically just cannot see anyone buying this and actually keeping it. I think it will be able to compete, but again, it is a car from a luxury manufacturer. Don't get me wrong, I'm sure that Magma has some very high-end, very well-experienced engineers and performance vehicle manufacturers backing them. I think this car just... I don't know, man. I don't know. The McLaren Artura and the Maserati MC Pura, I don't think this car is going to compete with them at all. I really don't. Because McLaren's got history in racing. Maserati has a lot of experience in racing. And again, Maserati also is a part of Ferrari. So there's a lot of things there that lead to these brands developing a very well-rounded sports car. I don't have high hopes of this car competing as much as Genesis is putting it forth to do. I want to see it on the road. I want to see it do well. I just don't know. Again, like base level Corvettes, yes, this thing's going to smoke. But the Z06 or the ZR1, I don't think so. Just like the Porsche 911. If it's a GT or a turbo or a GTS or something along the lines of that. I'm not too familiar with Porsches, but if it's one of their mid-tier performance cars rather than just being the stock Carrera 911, I think, like, I don't think this car's got it. I want to see it do something, because a twin turbo mid-engine V8 and it's a low displacement engine. I want to see this thing, because that's given IndyCar vibes, and I want to see it. I want to see it do well, because if this car starts doing well, it's going to start lowering the barrier to entry. And again, a 3.2 liter V8. I just want to see this thing in action. I want to hear what it's going to sound like, because I'm pretty sure that's the lowest displacement V8 currently on the market. So, yeah, let's just hope this is going to do well, because again, if it just looks so good. I really love the design. I love the lights. I love the rear end. And just the overall sleek shape. It just looks so good. So, with that being said, folks, I'm going to get on, I'm going to get some sleep and go from there. I hope all y'all have a good rest of your night. And, yeah, let me know your thoughts on this, because I'm a fan. Not a fan of the brand, but I'm a fan of the car. And with that being said, y'all have a good night. Please remember to like and subscribe for more, because anytime there's new news coming out about special cars, I'm going to get involved. All right. Have a good night. Peace out, all you motorheads and bumper bunnies. We'll see you later.